if you get your brows on even before your skin prep, your brows are going to stay put all day long. It's going to be actually really easy to get those brow pencils, the brow powders to adhere to your skin. Because when you think about it this way, it's like drawing eyeliner on a really wet canvas.
Yeah.
It's not going to grip.
I'm Susan Yara, and welcome to My Life Online. We're going to have a lot of fun and learn a lot together. Makeup can be really intimidating, especially if you're not a person who applies makeup too often, but it doesn't have to be that way. And it's my favorite thing about my next guest, who is one of my best friends in the whole world. She is also my makeup artist, not as much these days because she has become a huge content creator. I just love watching her grow, but it is Nikki La Rose. She is a pro makeup artist and also has her own YouTube channel, her own social media. And my favorite thing that she does is that she makes every woman, myself included, look like an elevated version of themselves, just so classically beautiful. And today she's going to tell you all about some of her best tips and tricks for anyone to use at home when you're doing your own makeup. Okay, wait. The excitement I feel, you guys, it's been like a year since we shot a video together. We used to shoot videos regularly.
I mean, it seemed like every other week I was doing something with you.
Yeah.
So you have no idea. I have like so much excitement soaring through my body. I have to just reel it in. I really do.
We saw each other. We were like, this was by far. Okay, so there came a time, Nikki and I have worked together for a decade at this point. Just about a decade.
Yep.
And we used to see each other so regularly, like at least a few times a month. Like
at least, Susan.
Several times.
You know, I joke around that I feel like I lived at your house at some point. I feel like I definitely lived there.
Yeah.
I ate there. I could have slept there.
I wanted you to sleep there. I was always like, stay the night.
I know. Susan's always pushing me. She's like, just hang out.
Just stay the night with me. Like, let's have a slumber party.
So funny.
And then I moved to Miami.
Oh,
and
God,
then,
don't remind me.
I know. I'm sorry. I miss you. I know. I was actually doing a really good job of coming in at least once a month, and we would see each other at least once a month. Then it started to slowly move into like every other month.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I hadn't come back for like 6 months.
I know.
And this was by far the longest we had gone without seeing each other. And you know what? We're so busy, especially you. I'm so proud of you. We're going to talk about this.
Oh, you're so sweet.
We're like so busy and our lives are like moving so quickly that we haven't even really had a chance to catch up.
No.
Like truly catch up besides like social media. It's, you know what? Social media is like a blessing and a curse because it's like you kind of get just enough that you're like, I'm keeping up with my friend.
Yes.
But you're not really in a meaningful way catching up, right?
Right. You're never like fully satisfied, but those little snippets that you get, it's like, okay, it kind of like buys me a few more days. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, okay, I kind of know what's going on. I can like sleep better at night now. You know what I mean? Like I feel like less disconnected.
Yes, exactly. But it's not true. Like
it's not the real thing.
It's not the real thing.
No.
I want you to catch everybody up on your life because I am so proud of you.
Oh.
I mean, I feel like you have just your whole content creator journey. She's still doing pro makeup.
Yes.
But your content creator journey has just like skyrocketed and you launched merch and so many other things. And tell us everything.
Okay, where do I start? I have been so beyond my hands, my toes, my fingers, like everything about me is dipped into something. And it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing feeling. But it's also like, you know, I get this tight pressure in my chest from all the things that I'm doing right now. Just to be fully honest, like I can't help but be honest. It's like one of our biggest things, right? So lots going on, lots of amazing things, absolutely no complaints. I am still managing to take a small selection of clients. I'm not, you know, my doors are not open to a ton of new clients anymore like they used to be. And that's just the reality. And it's a good thing and it's a sad thing too, you know?
I have, for years.
Listen, I blame you. You started. You are the one that moved away.
Yeah, this is true.
I'm still in LA.
Yeah, no,
and
I know.
If you lived here, I would be seeing you probably every week.
You would. But no, I wanted this for you. I've told you this for years.
You did.
I don't want you to feel like you can't focus on yourself. Yeah. It's so good to see you focusing on yourself.
And it took me long enough. I know Susan was always you were one of my biggest cheerleaders that told me I could do this. I could do that. Like, do it. Just do it. And like, you were always so confident. I was like, no big deal. And I remember thinking like, well, it is a big deal. Like, I can't just start a YouTube channel. I can't just start posting videos of myself. And you're like, just do it.
And you did it.
And I look back and I'm like, gosh, she was so right.
But so the thing I want to discuss on this episode, now that we've caught up a little bit.
I know. Sorry, bear with us.
Is that I want people to especially the women watching this, I want them to be able to pick up some tips from you on how to get their like classic go-to makeup look. Right? What are their tips? What are the tips and tricks? What are the things that they're overlooking? The makeup products that they should have in their routine. If they just want to spend 5 minutes, like these are the things I want to get into in this episode.
Yep.
So let's just kind of start with, how do you look at a person's face before you're about to do their glam, and just kind of go like, what is it that you're doing that just, you've obviously got an eye for this, but what is it that you would first recommend to everybody?
Okay. So let's say I'm taking someone, they're new to me, right?
Yeah.
I will take a good 5 minutes and I will pull conversation from them and I will look at their faces and I will...
While they're talking to you.
While they're talking.
So you're purposely getting them to talk. Okay.
Yes. So they don't know. And this is actually something I learned from a friend too. They don't actually know what I'm doing, but I'll be like, still like, kind of like, be like pulling out lashes, setting up some glue, pulling out lip liners, things like that, right? Where they think I'm busy, but really I'm talking to them and I'm looking at them and I'm looking at everything about their face. I'm looking at their cheeks. I'm looking at where their cheek falls when they're at rest. I'm looking at all those things and I am mapping out their face in my head. But the first thing that I look at when I'm taking a client, new or old, is I look at their brows. The brows are like the first thing that I need to map out to get, it's like the roadmap. Yeah. It really is like the roadmap. And some brows are going to scream at you and be like, it's going to be blatant that they don't need anything. They need a little brow gel. They need a little trim. I'll pluck them if they need it too. And they're good to go. But more times than not, the brows need a lot of work. And then once you get those brows done, the rest of the face can really kind of fall together.
Yeah.
So I usually take that time, like 5-10 minutes, whatever. If we have an excessive amount of time, I'll take even more time, like wine and dine them, talk to them, get to know them, like get to know their facial movements and their expressions. And I'll map out their face while I'm doing it, because I don't have the time as a makeup artist to stand in front of them and not have any conversation going and just look at them point blank and be like, and trying to figure out then. So I have to be doing other things and preoccupying our time in other ways to get that time in. Because I can't just stand in front of you and be like, all right, Susan. You know what I mean? Like I can't just take that time.
That makes them awkward too, right? Like even that.
So they need to not know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
They need to not know that I am looking so hardcore at their face.
Yeah.
Because that would make them uncomfortable and make them probably, it can make people insecure. And it could be a weird thing getting your makeup done, especially if you don't know your makeup artist. It can be it's like going to a therapist, and it's like such a personal thing because you're sitting there at your most vulnerable self, your bare face, you have no makeup on, no brows, no chapstick, no nothing, right? And you're trusting this stranger to make you look like your best version.
Yeah.
And it could be an intimidating thing. So it definitely works to like take that time, that 5-10 minutes, like break the ice and get to know them and not just like look at them like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So I'm at home.
Yes.
I'm listening to you say this and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go look in the mirror and I want to start my own makeup on myself.
Yep.
Do my brows first.
Yep.
Do my brows first. Yeah. Even without foundation on or anything.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it'll actually work out better.
Really?
It will work out better even if let's say you're anyone, as long as you don't have really dry skin.
Okay.
Let's say you have normal, moderately dry, moderately oily, or really oily. If you get your brows on even before your skin prep, your brows are going to stay put all day long. And it's going to be actually really easy to get those brow pencils, the brow powders to adhere to your skin. Because when you think about it this way, it's like drawing eyeliner on a really wet canvas.
Yeah.
It's not going to grip.
Yeah.
So you're going to be really frustrated. You're going to keep going back and forth, back and forth. You're going to create a muddy mess. It's going to be really frustrating for you to do it. So do your brows first. And you don't have to complete your brows. Okay. I actually, when I do a lot of my clients too, if I at least start their brows and I get like something kind of going on and I get
like a brow gel or pencil,
brow gel, tinted brow gel, or even just conceal underneath the actual natural arch of their brow, it still gives me like somewhat of a roadmap. And so if you're at home, you don't have to like do your brows from start to finish. Even if you just kind of start with like a little filling here where you're sparse, maybe bring your arch to even out this arch. You give them something to work with, and then you finish them at the end of the application once your foundation's on, your powder and all those things anyway. Mm-hmm. But if you just kind of start them, you'll be shocked at how much more clear the rest of the application will become.
Right, because the way you apply your eyeshadow is going to change according to where like the tail of your brow
Absolutely.
is.
Absolutely.
You know, I've never done this. I know that
I think I've told you to do it for a long time.
Of course you have.
Maybe it will stick now. Just kidding.
You know what? It might. So a person at home starts their makeup with brows. Okay. What is the next important step in that classically beautiful makeup look?
Okay. This is going to be probably not too surprising. Skin prep.
Yeah.
And we could glaze over this because it's going to be different for everyone, just like all makeup, right?
Yep.
But I think we're in a better place now with you know, the day and age that we're in now. I think a lot of people are like, and from what I read with the comments, like people are really in tune to their skin prep now, and they understand that good skin prep leads to good makeup. So if you're someone at home, you're starting your makeup, right? You're looking in the mirror. All right, you got your brows in a good spot. Now you're seeing your face is framed. Okay. So now you're in a really good place to start the rest of that journey of makeup. So before you put makeup on your face, you got to get your skin prep dialed in. And it could be as simple as 2 steps. It could be as intricate as 4 tops. Honestly, 4 tops being like with primer is like the max you should put under your makeup.
Because of layers, which is something I've learned
Too
from
many
you.
layers. It creates a slip and slide effect, and you do not want your makeup to slip and slide down your face as you're wearing it. And it just won't stick to your skin.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Which is so crazy because remember, it was like Embryolisse and like La Mer used to be like the go-to moisturizers you would use under makeup back in the day.
And I have a theory about that.
Oh, I got to hear this theory.
Yeah. Well, the theory is we weren't in tune to all the other magical formulas that can work just as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, you know, it took like a couple makeup artists on set to probably talk about it in like a news article or like a magazine, right?
Yep.
And then it just started to spread, and then no one wanted to take that next step to find the next best thing.
Yep.
So we all just kind of followed suit, and you know, as makeup artists and the community as makeup artists, we all just, okay, what do we use for skin prep? Embryolisse. Okay, well, you got to put Embryolisse on them. Oh, wait, where's your Embryolisse? And then I jumped in. I was like, this is boring.
Not just boring, but it's so
on everyone.
Thick.
It's so thick.
Not everybody needs a thick-ass moisturizer.
Everyone. And I really, gosh, it really makes me mad when people say like everyone needs Embryolisse. No, they don't. Not everyone is going to survive Embryolisse, okay? Yeah. A really oily skin client is not going to benefit from having Embryolisse under their makeup, period. You know, skin prep is going to be different for everyone. And that's like goes back to the whole like idea that like, you know, Embryolisse and La Mer is king for skin prep. No, it's not. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you, no, it's not.
And we've got both of us plenty of videos on skin prep, on mixed makeup, and on Nikki's own YouTube channel.
I mean, I've worked with faces and I know it works best under makeup.
Yeah.
For dry, oily, and combo. And you will not find Embryolisse in my pro kit.
No, I've never seen it.
You will find. You know what you'll find.
Naturium Multi-Peptide Moisturizer.
Gosh, I just opened up a new box the other day. I was like, new one in the kit.
I love you. Well, we made it to be sort of like a good makeup prep because you and I used to talk about this all the time. I've actually found myself like using primers a little bit in Miami because it's so humid.
You should.
But
you should, yeah.
And this is all, you guys, my best makeup tips are all from Nikki.
Oh, I love that.
Everything is from Nikki. But that was like the thing was like when I was thinking about like a very mid-weight moisturizer, it had to be something that would work really well under makeup. Because that's what is going to work for the majority, like the general, like in general, I guess it's going to work on people. So that was the thought behind that one.
Yeah.
So after skin prep, next tip, what's the next place they go with their makeup?
So this, you know, again, I'm going to preface all this by saying makeup is so personal. It is so unique to that individual person, right? So let's say you ask someone like me who has dark circles. I have dark circles in my eyes. I have a ton of redness around my eyes. People think I'm wearing red eyeliner all the time. Like, no, I am not. So one of my biggest things is going to be concealing and essentially correcting that, right? Because it bothers me. If you're someone at home and you're looking in the mirror and you're like, you don't know where to start, okay? So you got your skin prep down, you got your brows down. Now, if you're seeing like an excess amount of redness in your skin, we're going to want to combat that. So then you're going to want to go move into your foundations, right? But choosing the right formula is going to be a make it or break it situation for how you end up liking your makeup. So if you just go out and buy any foundation that you see on the shelves, you may not like it. So you have to cater to your skin type. Do you like a little soft glow? Okay, you're going to want to go for like something with glow in the title or luminous in the title. Do you like a fully matte complexion? Does having shine on your face just bother you to the nth degree. But then you're going to want to go for a matte formula or a soft matte formula. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to take into consideration all those little factors when you're doing your own makeup. But then going back to like makeup itself, after you've established like what it is about your features that you love, let's say it's your eyes. You love your eyes. You want to enhance them. Simple. You get a good eyeliner or a good shadow. You're going to smudge it along the lash line. You're going to define your eyes. You're going to bring them out in a nice soft way. You're going to curl your lashes. You're going to get a good mascara on those lashes. You're going to bring them out. You're going to want to define the crease, bring some depth, bring some dimension to your eyes. Let's say you love shimmers. You love that little like iridescent flicker when the light hits you just right. You're going to want to focus on grabbing like a little bit of a shimmer shadow, popping on the eyelid. That'll open up your eyes in a beautiful way. And then you have to bring color and warmth back to your complexion. So I think one of the biggest things that I see when I'm seeing people's like, you know, makeup routines, whether in person. In the wild, which is a really fascinating thing. And I thoroughly enjoy and I love it because I love helping people. It's like why I started YouTube in general, you know, is to help people. I think one of the biggest things I see that's a big mistake is people think that, okay, I'm just going to put my foundation on. I'm going to throw a little mascara on. I'm going to throw like a bold lip on and I'm good to go.
Yep.
You have to balance out. Once you take away all that color and all those other variations and tones on your complexion, once you eliminate that by evening it out with a foundation, if you don't put color back in, and it sounds counterintuitive, right? Like, well, you just spent all this time evening out your complexion,
and removing color.
Why are you going to put it back in? It's a different kind of warmth and color that you're putting back in, right? It's like, it's the life. It's like the warmth and the life that you have to bring back. So absolutely, you have got to get a flattering blush. That is like number one. Everyone needs a flattering blush for their complexion, you know? So if you're an olive undertone, like maybe go for something like a warm, neutral peach, you know? Let's say you're really cool. Go for like that beautiful, bright, bubblegummy kind of pink. That's gonna look so fun, so beautiful on you. So bringing color back to the complexion is so important.
Yeah.
And it can be overlooked.
Yeah. I mean, you know that I was not only a bronzaholic, I still am recovering. But
I love bronzer.
Yeah. But my blush game, I had blush blindness for the longest time. I used to be like streaks of blush because I was
my gosh,
obsessed. But you did teach me to not overlook these blushes that look like they wouldn't have much payoff.
Oh, yeah.
Like the really light shades of like the peaches and the like rosy tones. They're beautiful. Stuff. Gorgeous. Yeah. I am a forever changed person ever since you introduced these like lighter blushes on me. And I don't mean lighter in the sense of like, they're not like it's not a lighter, like a pale pink. It's like, it's like a peach color, but it seems like it almost looks like it's my color of my skin, but then you put it on and suddenly you've got this warmth to your skin. Yeah. And also throwing it on like the bridge of my nose, like really just bringing it all
tying
over.
It in is so important. Yeah. For me, when I'm walking through like a Sephora, for example, I am on the hunt for those like, it's like the blush bronzer shade, right? Yep. Like the blonzer.
The
blonzer shades, right? I'm on the hunt for those because those always are a crowd pleaser.
Yeah. Because they're just like, there's these like understated tones that actually just make you look really natural. And back to what I was saying, you make women look like themselves, but just a little bit better. It's like this elevated, beautiful, classic beauty look.
Oh,
I love it.
And I think that this goes back to like what every person who's doing their makeup needs. Everyone needs those no-brainer shades. Like the kind of shade where you don't have to think about, okay, is this blush going to go with this eyeshadow? Is this blush going to go with this lip color? It's like that no-brainer shade you could put on with anything else. Yeah. You know, you don't have to think about it. It just goes.
The newest one for me is the Patrick Ta.
Not too much?
Not too much. It's literally called Not Too Much. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That kind of a shade. It's so easy to use.
Yes. Because it just goes with anything.
And it looks pretty.
Yeah. It's an afterthought. You don't have to think about it. It's
you don't have to overblend it, whatever. And it just makes you look a little elevated.
Yep.
I love that. Something else that you have taught me about, again, going back to the layering. I think this is a tip because so many women talk about the creasing under their eyes. I hate it. It's like Botox will never stop now at this point in my life.
Right.
The creasing under my eyes. Like at some point it becomes just a natural part of your face. And
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So learning how to layer correctly has been such a journey for me with my concealer and my powder and everything. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's
I've
a
been
learning
working
curve for
so
sure.
hard.
Yes. Yeah.
So explain this to everybody about concealer under your eyes. Like, how do you make it actually look pretty?
Thin layers. And also I'm going to bring it back to skincare for a second, because I think one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is, let's say you have dry under eyes, or let's say you have not creases, but like fine lines under your eyes. We all do. We're all human. This is life. We have to accept it, right? And you either choose one of two things. You either choose to put makeup on top of that area and accept that you're going to have product on that area. And the reality is we have a lot of movement in that area. We have a lot of expression. Makeup is not magic. So you either accept that as you wear that product throughout the day, you're going to experience some form of creasing. You can minimize it to the best of your ability. And I have tons of tips for that. Or you can make it worse by applying way too much product and not having a chance of ever like fully setting down. And another thing too is I see a lot of people make the mistake of putting way too thick of an eye cream under their eyes before they do their concealer and then try to set it with powder.
It kind of goes back to what we were saying with like the Embryolisse and the La Mer. It's like we've been conditioned to think that we need a thick moisturizer.
You don't, because your under eye area can only absorb so much, just like the rest of your face. So what you're left with is this slippery, it's like a slip and slide effect under your eyes. So when you put your concealer there, not only is it going to crease, it's going to move around a lot. And you don't want it to move around. You want it to stay put to the best of its ability. And then when you're going to put powder on top, you're finding that you have to put even more powder on top to set it because it won't dry down fully.
Because of that thick eye cream.
And then what happens? You have a cakey, creasy mess under your eyes. So, best tip for me is thin, light layers of hydration. Hydration is key. And I'm talking about toners.
Yeah.
Under the eye.
Like an essence or a toner, something really light
something
that's like almost
milky
watery.
and wet, where it really absorbs into your skin, because you're going to get an instant plumping effect right off the bat. And you could layer it. You could do one round of hydration, let it absorb, followed by another round. I do that for a lot of my clients that have severely dry under eyes. And then you lock it in with a lightweight serum, depending, or you do a little thin amount of your face moisturizer. So I usually do like multi-peptide under the eyes. I bring it up there. It locks in the hydration. It kind of seals the deal. Let that dry down. Then light, thin layers of concealer. And my biggest tip is I see people all the time, they apply a load of concealer and then they go in right away and you see this.
Swiping.
They're swiping. And what you're doing is you're digging up all the cream and you're digging up all those layers and you're mixing the two together and they're creating this soupy, weird mess. They need to all live alone in separate layers. So you have to let each layer dry down in between. That right there is going to help with creasing so much.
Do you think a brush? Because I actually use your brush all the time under my eyes. It's like the best brush I've ever used in my life.
I love it.
What's the number? It's the N.
You're probably using the N14.
Yeah.
Because I know you want to be quick and you want to be efficient. And that is like a little mini beauty blender that's just going to like pat it in.
Yeah, because it's like rounded on the ends of it.
Yeah.
I have it with me everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere.
I love it. I got to send you more.
Bag.
Okay. Yeah. You need more. You need backups.
I have two already.
Two's a good start.
You know that I have two because I won't wash them for a while.
Oh, Susan is the worst with washing her brushes. You don't even know.
The worst.
I have to put you on blast. I used to wash bags of brushes for you. And I was insistent because the person in me that was just like, I had to have clean brushes. I couldn't stand that you had these bags of dirty brushes. I had to do it.
I know. I've gotten so much better. I think about you guys. You don't understand how often I think about Nikki.
I've taught you well.
You have taught me so well.
You taught me a load too.
So a person that doesn't have time though.
Yes.
5-minute makeup. What are the go-tos? What do you think is like going to have the biggest impact on somebody who truly has like 10, 15 minutes?
Okay.
We call it 5-minute makeup, but it's like.
Right. The reality is a 5-minute makeup is not worth your time.
No, it's like 10, 15 minutes.
Yes.
Like you're getting ready pretty quickly. What's going to have the most bang for your buck?
Again, it's going to be different for everyone. But I would say, like, let's say you don't even know where to start, right? You're that person looking in the mirror. You don't know where to start. Things to take into consideration for a good 5-minute face is some form of evening out redness. Okay, so let's say you have some redness, some areas of blotchiness, and you want to even out your overall complexion. I think grabbing a skin tint is going to be so worth your time because it's going to be so quick and efficient. They take minimal effort to blend into your skin. They take minimal elbow grease, and you don't have to be a master at blending your makeup to get a skin tint to look really well blend into your skin. So skin tint, number one,
What's your favorite right now? Or what are some go-tos?
I have a couple. I love the CL Tint to Protect, and I love the Hourglass. And I didn't think I'd like that one. And it's bougie and it's expensive, but wow, does that make your skin look unreal?
Great.
Gorgeous.
Get that.
I need to send you links. You need a list. You need an update list.
We're going to put the links in the description box too. To some of your favorite products.
But also, I was just talking about this too. A great one that's super affordable is the new Sephora collection. It's called like Reveal the Real. It's like $14. It is so good. It lasts all day and it's just easy.
Okay.
So a good skin tint. It doesn't have to be complicated. You do not need a full coverage foundation unless you want that for a 5-minute. But typically speaking, someone who is doing a full coverage foundation is not looking for a 5-minute face.
Right.
So we're going to keep it back to like that, right? And then definition, you have to define. So once you get your face evened out to some extent to where you feel confident, you need to bring back some defining, definition. So brows, eyes, and if you're asking me, some lips.
Yeah.
Not stark, not dramatic, but some form of light definition on the lips, especially for mature people. Our lips, the pigment in our lips tend to go. It goes. It's like, bye-bye.
It actually disappears.
We're just going to blend into the rest of your face and you're not even going to know we're here. So definitely
fill in your
underrated,
brows.
But definition. So defining your brows to some level.
Yeah. Whether that's a brow tint, pencil,
whatever you need. If you're asking me, I need a minimum of 2 products to get my brows defined and in a decent place. But let's say you're someone with blessed brows, you might be able to get away with just a tinted brow gel or a clear brow gel just to get them groomed and in place. So boom, brows are done. Let's define the eyes. And that could be as simple as just adding a soft amount of like a mid-tone brown, an earth tone brown shadow along the lash line for soft definition. It's quick, it's easy. You don't have to be a pro makeup artist to get it done, to get it to look good. Curl your lashes, throw on a coat of mascara. That's usually such a confidence boost in itself, and it's quick and it's easy. And
it makes you just look like your eyes are more open.
And it makes you look like you've slept.
Yeah.
You know? And then after that, it goes back to you have to bring color back to the face. You have to get some warmth and some vibrance back to your complexion. Even in that 5 minutes, do not leave the house. Because a good 5-minute face to me is bringing color and warmth back to your complexion.
So that Patrick Ta,
absolutely,
not too much.
Yeah,
blush,
cream blush,
perfect.
Powder blush, whatever's easy to you and accessible. Pop that on, and you'll be shocked at how
it's like
confident.
Some cheek, a little bit on the nose, maybe.
Hey, if you're feeling frisky,
throw
whatever's left over across the nose, and you're good to go.
Okay,
but ultimately, like on a deeper level, I would say like the best like 5-minute face is going to be focusing on what makes you feel most like you and most beautiful. So.
Yeah.
If that means you want to spend your entire 5 minutes on just maybe concealing your under eyes and throwing on mascara,
maybe that's it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And then for defining the lips, back to that definition.
Oh, so important.
Defining the lips. I feel like lip liner gets overlooked a lot by people.
Yeah. I feel like I have a part-time job of just reading comments because I read comments all day
you
long.
and I both. Yeah.
Right. And so right? And like, I'm always surprised by how many comments I see that are like, I don't really do lip liner. It's not really part of my routine. I just put on lipstick and that's enough. But my gosh, if you threw lip liner on with your favorite lipstick, it's like putting on a red lip, right? It's an instant confidence boost and it works wonders when done right. It could go wrong. Absolutely. So
a little too much overlining.
Yeah. Or let's say you're not the best you don't have a steady hand.
Yeah.
Choose a lip liner that is really close to your natural lip color.
Yep.
So that way it's not so intimidating. Choose neutrals. That way, if you do make a mistake, like let's say you go a little over, let's say you go a little under, it's not going to be as noticeable, until you get used to it.
Nikki, this was so informative.
This was so fun.
I love you so much. I mean, I know everybody wants you to always come back, so please come back again.
Anytime.
I love you.
Anytime. This went by in 2 seconds. What?
I know. You guys go find Nikki on social media. Tell everybody where they can find you.
I am Makeup by Nikki La Rose everywhere, across the board.
Perfect.
So nice and easy.
I love that so much.
I love you so much. You're like a sister and I've missed you so much. So thank you for having me. I'm so honored.
Of course.
I'm always honored.
I'm honored. I love you. I love
you so much.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of My Life Online. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure to follow, rate, and review, and also share it with a friend so we can continue making great episodes for you. You can also find me on social media. I'm at Susan Yara. And if you enjoy beauty, especially skincare, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, Mixed Makeup. I'll talk to you soon.